How do soundbars rank amongst audiophiles? This question comes from Tom in New York City. Everywhere I turn these days, I see soundbar speakers offered for sale. Some cost more than $1,000, and I want to know, are they worth it? All kinds of superlatives are used when characterizing these products. There's no dead spots in the room, high-end sound, etc., etc. Where do soundbars rank in the spectrum of contemporary speaker design other than being small and less intrusive? Well, I think that's a good question, and you are right. If you walk into any Best Buy or Listen Up here locally, you'll see sound bars in use under almost all the TVs, though a lot of TVs today are getting their own built-in sound bars, if you will, that are pretty decent. But the sound bar is still an excellent aftermarket addition to a lot of systems. Let's look at what a sound bar is. It's actually, well, not all, but let's talk about the ones that I would have some measure of respect for. Those are typically real miracles of engineering. Within those sound bars, we have a 5-channel D to A converter, a digital to analog converter. We have a surround sound processor, which is taking the Dolby and the THX and signals out of your television and dismembering them, a single stream into their many parts and doing all the necessary processing on it. Then we have an amplifier, a multi-channel amplifier, and then we have multi-channel speakers. I mean, these things are complete surround sound receivers, if you will, built into, convenient little bars. And some of them do a pretty darn good job. Like B&O makes a really good one. And who else does? Bose. Actually, Bose makes a very good sounding sound bar, and they're quite complicated. There's a lot of engineering that goes into them. That said, I don't think audiophiles think a lot of them. I, as an audiophile, don't. I have, because I'm more of a purist in that I want to have really good sound. So, for example, if I were just listening in my bedroom, or if I just had a television mounted on the wall and it was just casual, listening to whoever you like in the evening, I think a sound bar would work pretty well. I don't think I would be offended by a really good sound bar, especially like the two that I just mentioned. Those are pretty decent. Sonos has a reasonable one as well, but I don't think as good as the Bose or the B&O. But if I'm going to watch television seriously, as in watching a movie, or in the same way that I might seriously listen to music, then I'm not going to go with a sound bar. I'm going, in the case of a movie, I'm going to go with a home theater setup. Real speakers spread out around the room, you've seen my home theater. And while I understand that's extreme for a lot of people, it still is an example of what I would do. I mean, I would soon, for the same amount of money, you can buy a decent receiver and put in a decent center channel, left and right, and even if they're in the wall, like I have, the rear channels. And it takes a bit of time and wiring, but for the same money, you can do that. It's just a lot more trouble. It's a lot easier to just plop down something and hook it up and it works, right? It's not as good. And whether it's an audiophile or a home theater enthusiast, I know they use all these grand words that they borrow from us, but now it's not high-end, and it's not something that I would recommend to somebody who's seriously interested in good sound from a home theater solution, and certainly nothing we'd want to use to actually enjoy music on if we're serious about listening to music. For background music, sure. Background viewing, you betcha. Good stuff. All right, thanks for the question. Bye-bye.